Hey, thank you for joining me today. My name is Henry, and in this video I'd like to show you guys how to install the Interconnectit search and replace database tool. This is a tool that I've been using to do string replacements on databases, specifically for WordPress migrations. I've used it in some of my videos, and I have received some feedback for some users that are having difficulty installing it. So I figure I'd shoot this quick video and show how to install this, both in the free version of MAP and as well as the pro version, which is the one that I use in the video. Alright, so basically let's get started here. We'll go ahead and download the tool, and for that you go to Interconnectit, and I notice that they have updated their website, which looks pretty good. On some of my videos you'll see that there's the older version of the website. So once you get here, you're just going to go to products, and you're going to go down to the search and replace script, and in here you can read about the script and find out more about it. Basically it's a fantastic tool, and the main purpose of this tool is just to do string replacements on databases, and it does a great job because it won't damage any serialized data, and that is fantastic. That makes it perfect to use for this type of task. So before, you used to be able to download this tool just with the download button, but now you'll have to kind of accept here several tick marks here. So go ahead and do that, and just let them know that you know what you're doing, and then enter your name and your email, and then hit submit. Once you hit submit, you'll get an email from them, and you might want to check your junk folder because it may go to your junk folder. In my case it did, and this is the email right here. And what you want to do is you want to click on this link right here, and that will start the download. As you can see, they have this important message here, and I recommend you read it just so that you're aware that this tool, has inherent risks, and you could potentially damage your database installation using this tool. So just read, make sure you're aware of that, and I recommend not using this on a live database, on a production database. Of course, we're using this locally, so I am assuming you have a copy of your database, or that it's not the production database, because that would really be bad. So anyway, just make sure you read it, make sure you're aware, make sure you take a backup of your database, and that way we're good. The other thing you don't want to do is you don't want to use this on a production environment. They say you could use it, but I generally do not. I have not used this, and if you do use it in production, make sure you delete the files after using it immediately. So I only have used this tool locally, and that's pretty much how I've used it, and I haven't had the need to use it on a live server. So with that said, we can go ahead and proceed. So just go ahead and download it by clicking that link. You'll get a file that looks like this, and then you're going to go ahead and double click it, and you'll see the script right there. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to download MAP, and I'm going to just quickly just pointing to the website here, and you can go ahead and download whichever version of MAP. It's fine. I'll be showing you how to install it with both. It's almost similar, except that MAP Pro has a little bit of additional features that are very useful for if you're doing this constantly and this is part of your workflow, if you're a web developer, then I'll recommend Map Pro. I've been using it for a few years now, and it's a great tool. Map is also fine. It's a great free server that does the job. So anyway, go ahead and download it. Once you download it, you'll see it on your Mac if you're using Mac, or if you're using Windows. Map is also available for Windows. So before it used to be just available for Mac, but now they have a Windows version. So once you download it, go ahead and open it, and when launch Map, just close out of the Pro. Alright, so for Map, we're just going to quickly just check the settings, and just so we can see where it's pointed to. So the web server, the root folder is on this location here, and you can leave this location as is. You don't have to change this. You could if you want to, and the way to do it is just go into Preferences and then click on the Web Server tab, and then hit this little arrow here, and you can change the location of the root directory. I'm going to leave it default in this case, just so I can, just for demonstration, but I do have my root folder pointed to a different location. I'll show you that once I start using the Map Pro. Alright, so I'll just leave that as is. So this would be your root folder here, and what you're going to do is you're going to place the tool, the script, in this folder here. So we're just gonna copy it because we're gonna use it again for the Map Pro demonstration. So I'm just gonna copy it now, and we're gonna paste it here, and that's all there is to it. So once you paste it in your root folder, you could leave the name as is, or you can change the name however you like. On the Interconnectit website, they do recommend that you change the name to something that only you can recognize, like a very cryptic, obfuscated, I think they call it. Pretty much a very encrypted or not easily guessed name if you're using in production. But like I said, I recommend you use this locally instead of production. Alright, so the way to access it is pretty simple. So once you put it on the root directory, make sure that you start the server, of course, and then you're going to navigate to your local host. And Map comes with this built-in web page, and which gives you plenty of good information here, and it gives you some links to some tools like PHPMyAdmin and another database admin tool, and gives you your PHP information here for the server. So this is a pretty good tool, but we're going to go to the root, so go ahead and delete all that here, and you can go ahead and click on that, and that's it. It brings you to the tool, and that's pretty much it. That's how you access that. And like I said, you can change the name of the folder to whatever you like, and let's say you just want to name it DB tool. That's fine. You just go ahead and access this folder on your server here. So you see, if I hit enter, it's going to be gone. We changed the name, so just go ahead and type the name, and there you have it. If you happen to change the port here, just make sure that you update the URL, of course, and I left it under the default ports, which is 8888, but if you if you set it to the default here, to the default port, which is 80, you don't have to type the 888. So in this case, I changed it, and map will restart, and then you just go ahead and don't have to use the port anymore. And there you go. All right, so let's try this now with Map Pro. Let's go ahead and stop the server there and quit map. And this was quit working, of course. Okay, so we're going to go back here and we're going to start Map Pro. And for Map Pro, it's pretty much the same procedure. You just set up your virtual host here. This is version 3, so if you download Map now, I think you might get version 4, which has a slightly different interface, but you'll find pretty much the same tabs or sections. They might have a different menu here on the side. But once you are in the host section, you're just going to go ahead and create a host. And you just give it any name you want. I'll name it DB Tool. The name doesn't really matter. As long as you remember. You don't even need to remember it with Map Pro, because you can open the root folder from within Map Pro. So just give it any name and then select the directory. And I'm just going to create a new directory and just name it the same. And I think this must be the same name. Otherwise, Map Pro, it's gonna actually might not need to be the same. I take that back. So you can give this a different name. You can give this any name you want. I believe it will still work. Let's try that. Just for kicks. I always name it the same, but I don't think you have to, because the Map Pro will map the virtual host to that folder, so it shouldn't have to be the same. There you go. So just create a folder here for the root and just hit choose and hit save. And it's going to start. Make sure you start the server. And that's it. Once you create your virtual host, then you go ahead and open the root folder, which is the one that we created here. And you can do that by just clicking on this little arrow here, or just navigating to it, or opening a browser and just type in the name of your virtual host right there. Okay, so Map Pro has this page here by default. So we're going to do the same thing, which is just drop in the script inside this folder. Sorry, not this folder, the one that we created for Map Pro. So, and that's in host, replace tool, and here it is. And we can clear this out. And then just move this folder over here. And that's it. Then we just navigate to it. Let's see what the name here. Just copy it and just enter it right here. Hit enter, and that's it. There it is. So, all right. Well, hopefully this has helped. And if you have any further questions, feel free to leave me a comment in the section below. Hopefully this will be useful, and thank you for watching, guys. Bye.